Joining me now is Dorcey Applyrs of Albany, New York, and Sharon Owens of Syracuse, New York. Congratulations to both of you. Let's start with the Democratic mayoral nominee for Albany, Ms. Applyrs. You won your primary with 52% of the vote. In fact, you got an endorsement 140 miles away in the Bronx from New York, the New York State Assembly Speaker. What do you think was the key to your victory, and how symbolic is it for you, maybe the first black mayor of Albany, New York, the state capital?
First, thank you so much for having me, and happy Pride. This truly is a historic moment for Albany, one of the oldest city, older than our nation. And this win was not just about me. This win is about the entire city and our young people, no matter where they live in this city or the color of their skin, being able to see themselves in our new path forward and our city's new vision.
And mayoral Democratic nominee Owens, your race in Syracuse was crowded. How symbolic is your victory, and what sets you apart from the competition that you had?
Well, thank you, Reverend Sharpton, for having me again. June is a busy month. It is Pride Month, Gun Violence Prevention Month, and Juneteenth, all in the same. And I think all of them in combination speaks to why what happened in Syracuse happened. We built a coalition of people that set me apart from individuals who had been long state Democratic individuals. And this coalition was young, it was diverse, it was across lines. Independents who couldn't even vote in the primary were out for me in February petitioning and into the election on Tuesday.
Now, candidate Applyrs, you as Albany's chief auditor, you have experience making sure your city's finances are being used responsibly. If elected mayor, how would you handle dealing with the Trump administration, especially with DOGE cuts?
Absolutely. So one of the benefits of serving as our city auditor is that I served under the first Trump administration. And so what I will do, as I've always done, is lean into making sure that we are protecting our constituencies, protecting their rights, but also saving lives, as we had to do with the global pandemic and global shutdown. I think the challenge this time around is that we're dealing with a more sophisticated Trump administration. And so it requires us to really up our game to ensure that we are doing just that. Also understanding that we're going to see a lot of our residents, some of our most vulnerable, suffer because of safety net cuts, even looking at significant cuts to our summer youth program. And so we as a city have to be prepared to support our residents as these safety net programs and funds are being pulled from under them. So we're talking about lack of access to health care, unemployment rates increasing, and what that means for gun violence. So just anticipating where the challenges will be and really leaning into that to make sure that we are supporting our residents and constituencies as best as possible.
Candidate Owens, the local Syracuse paper suggests your victory is a wake-up call to old guard Democrats. Your thought on the New York City Democratic primaries and whether it signals that outsiders are actually in now?
It was amazing to see individuals re-engage with the election process. Individuals who after I had talked so many young women out of bed last fall, but they re-engaged this time. And there were individuals who, even after all of our work, showed up at the polls who could not work, who could not vote. And so our mission is to reinvigorate Democrats, independents, everyone who wants to vote, those who are not registered, to get them to be a part of this process. That is what is going to make our city better. It is going to strengthen Democrats. We have to open the doors for everyone to come into the table.
Let me go, I'm out of time. I want to go back to you. I go to Albany a lot. I go to Syracuse. We have chapters of National Action Network there.
Yes.
What do you think, first you, let me go to you in Syracuse first. What do you think are the pending priorities that you'd like to tackle as mayor when this is all over? The race is
Yes,
all over.
First shout out to the Syracuse chapter of NAM, where Bishop Bernard Alex is the president and I am a member. Without question, housing. Where you lay your head at night should not determine the trajectory of your potential, but how you lay your head at night, whether it's safe, healthy, affordable, absolutely determines your ability to be the best you can be. And with us in this economic moment in Syracuse with Micron, we need a lot of housing. It is my job as mayor to ensure that that housing does not price out individuals and that we don't find ourselves as other communities that have massive growth, finding no space for quality, safe, affordable housing in our community. Housing and equitable, inclusive economy are my priorities.
Your priority as once you become mayor, Ms. Applyrs.
So number one, public safety. Like most of our cities across the country, we are feeling the effects of the global pandemic, increases in mental health issues, substance use, as well as homelessness. And we also still have an issue of gun violence in many of our neighborhoods. And so public safety has to be addressed and tackled, in addition to really working to bring Albany back as it relates to economic growth, revitalizing our downtown, increases in jobs and housing. And so our residents came out in full force, a lot of energy, really feeling this vision for our city that includes a safe city, thriving neighborhoods, but also economic growth, again, regardless of where you live in this city.
All right. Thank you to both of you. Democratic mayoral nominees Dorcey, Applyrs, and Sharon. Obviously, we thank you as well to both of you, Sharon Owens in Syracuse.